Good morning everyone and welcome back to the bakery. I put a vote up in my Discord server, you should join in the description, and on my channel for what the next challenge video should be. And it was pretty split, but there was one clear winner of the vote. Can I beat Terraria with magic sticks? Now, let me just say, out of the three choices I gave, this is by far the worst one for me. I already have a really hard time playing Expert and Master Mode Terraria on normal playthroughs. So we're gonna keep this on Classic Terraria. Wait, don't click off the video! So like I said, I am absolutely horrible at Terraria, despite it easily being one of my favorite games of all time. So this should be great. Now, while we attempt to create Merlin in Terraria, let me go over the rules. First, we are allowed to use any armor and accessories, including any of the benefits those armor accessories add, such as the titanium set's offensive barrier or the Star Cloak's Star Cloak. We can use any buffs, both potions and foods, once again including things like the Inferno Potion or the Thorns Potion. My reasoning for being able to use these things is that it's indirect damage and not caused by a weapon I'm actively using. The reason for this distinction being allowed is if you'll watch the video on this from Gungnir, which I'll link below, without indirect damage, the hard mode bosses are quite literally impossible. Third, we're only allowed to use the Wand of Sparking and its upgrade, the Wand of Frosting. Fourth and finally, our challenge goal is just to defeat Moonlord. Anyway, now that Merlin has been created, we grab a small world and start the game, where right off the bat we throw out our copper short sword. Terraria is a phenomenally developed game, so much so that it is one of, if not the only game where I have actually tried something other than my fantasy go-to melee faith build. Unfortunately, that happened to be Summoner and not Mage, but oh well. I mention this to point out that I have a great grasp on how to build the melee class, an elementary understanding of how to build the Summoner class, but I have absolutely no knowledge of what to do for the Mages and the Rangers, so I'm gonna be referring to the wiki a lot during this run. Anyway, now that our little shack is completed, after a bit of walking, we find a mother tree that gives us some climbing claws. Then we go caving, where we struck gold and found a heart container. After walking the world for a while without finding a single stick, I just decide to grab it from my current Master Mode world. If I'm gonna be using this weapon, I think it's at least fair to allow me to collect it like this. Now, we have one of our two endgame weapons. It isn't too bad right now, but boy is that gonna change soon. Overnight, we create a storage basement as our guide shows us multiple times just how much he really hates us. The next day, we got a hook from a piranha as well as made an anvil, and we make our first grappling hook. Then, we just do a lot of mining and exploring. We bust through a wall into a blue phallic object biome with nothing of note, collected some silver and gold, then got Tim's hat. This gives us 4 defense as well as a 5% increase to our damage. That equates to no extra damage. Anyway, we get enough gold for the pickaxe and some leggings, then we make a silver chestplate just so we can brave the jungle. Our pre-Wall of Flesh armor is going to be the jungle set for the boosts to our magic stats. While collecting this, we also got a Nature's Gift, meaning a 6% reduced mana cost. After making our armor, I look more into the Wand of Frosting and realize it is literally just a straight upgrade. A small one, mind you, but it is just an upgrade. So we gather 99 ice torches and we make our endgame weapon. At the beginning of the game, before we've even fought any bosses. After this, we put our head in the clouds to see what we can find. A horseshoe. That's all. Anyway, we make a quick basic arena platform, then finish upgrading our health. Blow apart a couple shadow orbs for the Band of Star Power, we didn't get one, then it's time for our first boss, the Eye of Cthulhu. Whoa. Absolutely demolished. Get good. So demolished, in fact, we also attempt the Eater of Worlds. That fight was, they got a lot hairier than I expected, but, we still first tried him. But then I start thinking, were these two bosses even necessary? Like, I didn't actually look into the necessary progression bosses. Anyway, when we get back home, a goblin army invades our land. Oh, hell no. They're dispatched after about 10 minutes though, and now it's time to go look for the final NPC we're gonna need for the run, the Goblin Tinkerer. We find him and grab his only 2 useful products, as well as reforge our little 2mm defeater. The twig. A frosting. Anyway, Deadly's the best modifier for it. That's it. That is every direct weapon upgrade we get for the entire game. Everything else needs to come from our armor and accessories. A meteorite landed, so we make an obsidian skull and go gather some ore. Then we have our meteor set, which boosts our magic damage by a whole 3 points. Nice. I look up if Eye of Cthulhu and Eater of Worlds were necessary. No. We make the mana flower. Nice. Then we go build yet another shady platform above Skeletron. Absolutely demolished! We also eliminate the Eater of Worlds again because I forgot to make the pickaxe before selling all the materials from the first fight. We look around a little in the dungeon, then finish the Elevator, make the lightning boots, and get a platform going on in the underworld. Then we expanded NPC housing, go to another world for ice skates. If you've played Terraria, then you know sometimes you just gotta find stuff in another world. Anyway, now it's time for the Wall of Flesh. God help us. And we died because he spawned on the wrong side. Fortunately, it looks like it shouldn't be too difficult to defeat him. So I check the only sky island we haven't visited and find a shiny red balloon, just what I was looking for. The Goblin Tinkerer moves back in and we reforge some of our equipment to menacing for about a 12% damage boost. Then, we try again. God damn it. That fight was so much easier when he actually spawned on the right side, which totally wasn't because I realized I was spawning him while I was to the right of world spawn. Anyway, we break some demon altars that give us palladium, mithril, and titanium, all 3 of my favorite hard mode ores. I realize I forgot to make a molten pick, so we grab a hell forge and do that really quick. Then we get our first taste of highly radioactive material, and swing at a mythical material once thought to be nothing more than legend, which we then strike at one of the strongest real-world materials utilized in high-end builds and tools. Then wear it, giving us another 100 mana as well as giving us absolutely no damage increase, despite the armor having multiple damage boosting perks. This weapon is terrible. We make some Terraspark boots, then hunt for Souls of Light and make the mechanical eye. Then we challenge the twins. Well. We head to the dungeon to gather bones to make the last of the mechanical boss summons. We go into the underworld looking for life force potions and end up receiving a star cloak from a mimic. So we combine that with our mana flower to create the mana cloak. Hey, I'm not the one who hurts things when they hit me. God's smiting them with the stars above. We got a decent stash of buffs and restoration potions, reforge all our stuff to warding, then get ready by expanding our little arena. Despite defeating Destroyer on the first attempt, meaning we definitely have the DPS for the other mechanical bosses, I'm still worried as that fight was really tough and it's only gonna get tougher. We farmed for a while to get 20 Souls of Flight and the giant harpy feather for our first pair of wings. It took a while, but we eventually obtained it and made our harpy wings. Then we head to another world to reforge them to warding. Our Goblin Tinkerer died during the Destroyer fight, and I'm impatient and don't want to wait for him to move back in. We spent time preparing more potions, as well as heart lanterns. During this, Jordan texted me asking for Calamity Wand of Sparking only. I told him if he produces 500,000 subscribers, I'll do it. Something I've really noticed since fighting Skeletron is that our weapons range is absolutely abysmal. Something that's really gonna make future bosses difficult. Luckily, however, I'm pretty sure the mech bosses are the last ones where DPS will be a serious concern. And since we already defeated Destroyer, that means we have enough DPS to defeat the other two. Anyway, let's try Optimus Prime. Well, we didn't even get him to half health. Well, now we need to figure out a way to eliminate the other mechanical bosses. All I can really think of for extra buffs is the Shark Tooth Necklace. Maybe I should work on a rail system. The rails worked good against the twins, but it took almost all night just to eliminate Spasmatism. Retinazer ended up despawning. I reforge everything to Menacing, giving us a whopping 3 extra damage for about 18 platinum coins. That's definitely a worthwhile trade. For a half-baked cake, maybe. If you know what I mean. Luckily, that's just what I am. Skeletron Prime attempt number 2 was a bust. I'm really not sure how possible this challenge is, purely because of the time limit on the mech bosses. I know I can do the NPC limit exploit, but I try really hard not to use glitches, exploits, or cheats. So I decided to ask all of you, and you decided a little cheating never hurt anyone. So I make a couple more boss summons, then spend a long time figuring out how to actually do that. Unfortunately, from what I understand after watching one video, there's no glitches for this that work in the current game version, meaning I had to catch 188 creatures. While waiting for creatures, we're hit with a solar eclipse, which gave us nothing of use. I was hoping for the broken Batwing. So we go back to being your friendly neighborhood animal controller. Then we're hit by another solar eclipse. I swear this happens at least once in every single playthrough I do. And the only useful thing we got was a mechanical skull. Anyway, time to collect animals again, this time doing it in another world. Just to eliminate the chance of another solar eclipse happening, because I always get 3 in a row. I was also listening to an analysis of some YouTuber exposed for animal abuse, and I just want to say, if you're excessively and unjustifiably cruel to animals in any way at all, I hope bad things happen to you. Finally, after so long, we now have 190 creatures in addition to the 9 town entities. I'm just hoping birds count. We make a box and fill it with animals, completely flying in the face of what I just said a couple seconds ago. Let's see how Skeletron Prime looks now. Fingers crossed, everybody. Well, I don't know what to do at this point. It wouldn't let me place any more animals, meaning I hit the entity limit. Yes, Skeletron Prime still had all his limbs. I really have no idea what else we could do. So I once again put out a post asking you guys what I should do. You guys didn't have much to say, but it was suggested to keep Skeletron Prime busy throughout the day cycle to reach the next night cycle. The only problem is, if he hurts you during daytime, it's an insta-kill. But even then, with the amount of damage I've been doing in the past few nights, we would need to occupy him through about 4 full day cycles. As for the twins, nothing was really found. The only thing suggested was an exploit, that being the Don't Dig Up seed, which changes our 1's base damage from 15 to 42. Plus, all our buffs would bring our damage to between 70 and 80, which is still less than you should be doing during this point in the game. Not even to mention our attack speed. And the fact we'd still need to eliminate them in this world anyway. So I made a decision. Sometimes, you just gotta invalidate a challenge. So we fish in our Hallow for the Crystal Serpent. It took 3.5 hours, but we finally got one, courtesy of Kyro dropping one for us. How cool of him. He's currently working on a Terraria challenge too. Make sure you go subscribe to him so you can be there when it comes out. Anyway, we reforge it to Mythical, then challenge Optimus Prime once again. As I expected, Skeletron Prime was completely trivialized, so much so we still have buffs. So let's try the twins, who were melted even faster than Prime. So even though the challenge has been invalidated, we're still moving forward. Better to have more content and a failed challenge than no content at all. I'm gonna go forward, continuing to prioritize the Wand of Frosting, but we'll keep the Crystal Serpent in our back pocket as sort of a last resort. The challenge is already invalidated, but don't worry, I won't use any weapons better than the Crystal Serpent, no matter how hopeless things get. We challenge the Wall of Flesh again to store ourselves another emblem, which we use to make the Avengers emblem for another damage boost. Then we make a move on the jungle to look for Life Fruit, Chlorophyte, and a Plantera's Bulb to dig an arena around. Anyway, I figured 5 golden hearts is good enough, and oh look, I'm right. Wand of Frosting, first tried Plantera. Wow, that was very, very easy. We head into the temple and make our way to Golem, easy peasy. We disable the traps on the way down and make it to the arena. Let's challenge him. Wow, we're already at the last 2 bosses of the game. That's insane. The mech bosses really were the main roadblock. Anyway, let's go check out the dungeon. I heard there's somebody terrorizing it. Oh. We look for Life Fruit and accidentally summon Queen Bee. Eliminate her, then continue. We get some more Life Fruit, make and use the Aegis Fruit, then head back to the Cultist. We make our best buffs, then grab 2 more Life Fruit. I've been looking for hours since the night before, so 17 golden hearts is good enough for me. Christ. Then we try the Cultist yet again. No, wait. Oh hey, look, the Ancient Vision, an enemy with incredibly specific spawn requirements that some of you probably haven't even seen before. Then Kyro reminds me of the ninja gear, so we're gonna go get the tabby and the black belt. The whole time I've been doing the challenge, I've been complaining to him, telling him how hard it is not having a dash, since I usually play in Master Mode and use the Shield of Cthulhu. So we're gonna get these 2 low drop rate items just to have a dash. After farming for 2 hours, I decide just having the tabby's dash is good enough. Then we get Chlorophyte and make the Spectre set, giving us more damage and crit chance. After taking a break for a couple days to play the amazing first Darkest Dungeon game, I came back to our little challenge and spent the whole day fighting Cultist. So here's a montage of my deaths. So, we failed the challenge. Can't win them all, I suppose. I did, however, destroy the Destroyer while the challenge was still valid. 1 boss further than Gungnir did, so that's a win in my book. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you're not disappointed by my execution of the video, or the fact we failed the challenge. Life will happen, however that may be. So if you're having trouble with anything, whatever that may be, just keep going. Try as hard as you can, and keep your chin up. It'll come to pass. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure you check out Kyro's solo channel. At the time of my recording, he's also recording a Terraria challenge that I am super excited to watch. Let me know what you guys think I could have done better. Constructive criticism is incredibly important. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a fantastic day.